So I am back, fresh from the movies to see the brand new Spider-Man, Spider-Verse. Yeah, we're definitely moving across the multiverse with this one. So I really enjoyed it. I'll probably discuss it a little bit more in the June wrap-up video. I've yet to do the May wrap-up video for movies I saw, pairs I actually put on foot to leave the house, other than like, you know, slides and Ultra Boost. But yeah, so what did I wear to the movie? Well, I passed on the actual next chapter Jordan 1, which I don't think this is a spoiler. You probably already know or would assume that pair is featured somewhere in the movie itself. But I said, hey, let's just go ahead, throw on the Lost and Founds. Okay, listen, one of my favorite recent pickups in the last 12 months. So yeah, it's time for them to get some burn. So threw those on with my Uncle Ben quote cutoff and some distressed denim black shorts. It is hot out, but I brought the flannel just to stay nice and cozy in the theater itself. So if you guys get to the movies this weekend, be sure to drop your thoughts below on the movie. I will just share this. There seems to be a theme with the ending to movies lately. I don't quite know how I feel about it. I don't. Like, kudos to the directors and the producers of what they're doing. I mean, it's smart, but I as a person viewing it, I don't quite know how I feel about it. But that out of the way, because it is a decent release weekend, I guess, for movies with Spider-Man and then also Boogeyman. And then we know the final start today for the NBA. So you have the Denver Nuggets, you have the Miami Heat. And I am pulling for the Heat. But that aside, let's talk Yeezys real quick. Let's talk Teyana Taylor drop. So when you guys first saw the shoe, or at least when I first saw the shoe, when you saw the comments going around, people weren't very kind towards the shoe itself, and none of that energy was the same on actual release day, June 1st. Now, I will say this, for them to debut this as a collaboration with Teyana Taylor and it being a Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort 2, they kept the price the same. They didn't tack on anything extra for it being a collab, which I found rather interesting. I thought it was nice for the actual consumers that were going after this pair. I personally didn't go for this pair. Had to really just go ahead and give myself grace when it comes to every pair. Just because it may fall into a certain category, it certainly doesn't mean that I need it. So even if it's with a brand I love, an artist I love, because I think she's an amazing performer. Listen, Rose in Harlem, it plays a lot, okay? A lot in my playlist, especially in the gym, and one of her other songs as well, Bear With Me. So I play those two songs a lot, stay in rotation. But that didn't mean that I needed this collaboration within my collection, especially again with me just getting the Lost and Found ones. I didn't personally feel like I needed it. I therefore got out of the way. I tried to help a friend. She wanted a pair. Thankfully, her account hit because Sneakers app has told me absolutely positively no. Just go ahead and have several seats. After hitting on the Air Max 1 Big Bubble, after hitting on the Lost and Found access, after getting the SB Orange Lobster, they said just go ahead and have several seats. You don't need anything more. It doesn't matter if it's for you or somebody else. You don't need it. So I didn't hit for her. Now, I appreciate them giving Teyana an entire clothing capsule, because the first time we had ever seen that with a collab for a woman was with the Laylee May for her Air Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort. And if you guys remember, I did an entire breakdown video because I got the jacket before I actually was able to get the pair, but I didn't end up getting the apparel. I would have loved to have gotten the t-shirt, but nonetheless, I still have the jacket. And to me, that was the kind of coup de grace when it came to the capsule itself. And so Teyana had something similar where she had t-shirts, she had tanks, she had sweatpants. The beanie seemed to be elusive, the same with the socks. And we saw that in the rollout for the actual campaign pictures. Her daughter was featured, which she is so adorable as well. She's also been featured, I believe, in some of Jerry's campaign photos. So super cute to see mom and daughter just gracing the stage, I guess in a way, for the actual rollout itself. And then there was a jacket, which was priced at $750 good US dollars, which I was good on that. Just being candid with you, like, no, I was personally, okay, good on that. Not that somebody else may not have saw the value in wanting to pay that. I personally, as a consumer, I was good on that. So I did not go for the shoe. However, no one kept that energy, okay? The women that were very excited about it, they kept it, they went for it. The people that seemed to not care about it, I didn't really get that from sales. People went for it. You can see what it's going for. I haven't actually even checked secondary market because I rarely do, just because I would like to not have to pay secondary prices. I'll check them though. So if you look at like a women's 8, which is a very common size, $340. If you look at a women's 12, which would be men's 10 and a half, $334. So yeah, resellers still went for these because that's exactly what they do. So if you were a woman and you wanted this, hopefully you were able to get your hands on it. I'm hoping prices come down for you. That way you can maybe spin the block for a reasonable price. Now it is interesting. I've seen some commentary on this rollout that it seemed to receive a little bit less press, less push from the brand itself, like within sneakers in different places versus what we saw with the Lele May. So that was interesting to see in itself. Now, Yeezy. People locked in and engaged since 5 o'clock in the morning on May 31st. I actually would say prior to 5 o'clock in the morning on May 31st, because people were entering the raffles for the Carbon Beluga and the 350 V2 Onyx before the actual draw closed for those two pairs. And then it was just a cascade of pairs after that. So we know within at least like the US region, all of the various pairs that were available. Now, the interesting thing, right, if you were to hit, I think on everything, it totaled like $2,810, which is wild because I've seen some people say in different comments or videos that they hit on like 10 pairs or 11 pairs. So they were paying north of $1,000, and that shocked some people, right? Like, oh my goodness, who is dropping $1,000 within one day worth of drops? And I think maybe it's just the volume of shoes that dropped that's kind of like perplexing people, but it's an anomaly of how these are dropping. It's the very last go around, so that's why we're seeing it, of course, in the magnitude we're seeing these pairs drop. But think about it, if we take a step back, bird's eye view, in a month, it's not uncommon for people to drop $800 or $1,000 on 4 to 5 pairs of shoes. They're just spreading it out. Maybe it's a pair a week. Maybe it's 2 pairs this week, a pair this week, 2 pairs the following week versus just all in 48 hours. So I understand that many pairs, like 15 pairs within 48 hours, that can be a lot to take in. Plus, it's not as if there aren't other pairs still dropping, right? The Teyana Taylor still dropped. You will have other drops this weekend. And I know some people were like, yeah, Rent's also doing the first. Rent is always due, essentially, on the first for a lot of people, right? Rent, mortgage payment, so that should never factor in for you buying anything. And also, I never automatically just assume that people are being reckless with their money if they spend a high dollar amount on anything specifically. Listen, for the individuals that don't really have it together and they are just living recklessly, trying to get a shoe, there are others who are doing it in a very sensible manner, okay? They could have had that money set aside. They could have planned ahead. So I'm not going to automatically assume. However, I saw the comments of people saying they would go broke, which is why I usually post those types of comments on the videos where I'm saying, hey, don't go broke. That's just to go ahead and add some validity to what I'm saying. There are people that are out there saying that. So for the actual drop itself, like estimated if you were to hit on everything, like $2,800. Now for the foam, so we had 3 pairs of foam runners, 2 slides. You would have paid, if you hit on all like 5 of those, $410. That's probably much more reasonable to people. I would actually venture to say that if you hit on those, you're likely getting more value for your dollar, because I imagine people are planning to, well, from what I can tell, to wear the dinos, you know what, I'm gonna leave y'all alone, to wear the foam runners and the slides on a consistent basis, especially in the summer, just to toss on, to be comfortable. That is one of the upsides of Yeezys, right? Whether you like the designs or not, the comfort is there and you can't deny that. I've said this, the Yeezy slides are the most comfortable slides that I have ever owned. And you know what, with that being the reality, I actually gifted one of the 4 that I own to one of my closest friends. She's on her feet all day and she absolutely loved them. So I had flax, onyx, soot, and resin. I gifted her my soot pair. She absolutely loves them. So I said, you know what? I know that they're a favorite of hers now. Let me just try and see if I can hit for her for the onyx pair. And I did. So she will actually have the onyx pair whenever it finally arrives. I was shook because I just knew that my account wasn't going to hit. So you didn't need to be like, at least, you know, everybody assumed, oh, 3 and 4 to be able to hit. No, there were people with brand new accounts that were hitting. There were people with level 4 accounts that weren't hitting a thing. And I get that you were very frustrated. I know people that shop with Adidas consistently and their accounts hit nothing. Like they hit absolutely positively nothing. And I feel really bad for them. So we know that retailers are supposed to receive some of the stock down the line. So if that is the case, hopefully, again, if you are someone that took L's and you would still like pairs, listen, I want you to be able to hit, responsibly hit, but I want you to be able to hit on the pairs that you would like. So I have the Onyx slide on the way, and that will go straight over to my friend. I know that everyone really honed in, or a lot of people honed in on the 350 V1 Pirate Black. For some people, it's a grail. For some people, they just like it more aesthetically than the Turtle Dove. And I am interested, though, when it comes to, well, I guess this is opening like a wound. You ever think about those people that spent like $1,000 on like zebras or pirate blacks at one point versus what they are sitting at right now on StockX. Like that has to be a very touchy wound, and I guess I'm the person that's also pouring salt into that wound right now, but I imagine it's pretty tough to fathom. So hopefully you weren't a reseller who were holding on to those, because yeah, that definitely tanked the value of that shoe itself. I mean, looking at like the payout of what you would get on certain sizes, like it's barely above what you paid retail for it. So hopefully, I guess I'm hoping people didn't waste their time there. I really saw this as a chance for people to get the pairs they really wanted before it's all said and done. And that's what it is. Like people keep saying, will we see other models and colorways? Didn't we hear that this was it? Like final sale, this was it. No more models, no more nothing. I don't know, unless I'm missing something. That's what I gathered. Now, the other weird part, 23 days shipping. Come on, Adidas, 23 days shipping, but I guess some people are saying beggars can't be choosers, so you guys wanted these pairs to come back out or be available to you, so they'll ship them when they ship them. It is what it is. I'm not gonna complain because the slides will arrive when they arrive. I'll hand them over to my friend and it'll all be good. But if you were lucky enough to hit on anything you went for, be sure to go ahead and comment that below. I am happy for you. In another video, I actually might discuss just some different creative ways I've seen people go ahead and set their accounts up. Like not their accounts to hit on things, but managing the actual money or their income for drops, to put parameters in place, to not mix up their fund money with their bills or needs. So pretty much needs and wants are separate. So we can discuss that in an upcoming video. I just wanted to give my thoughts real quick on Teyana Taylor and the Yeezy drop. It was a really long 48 hours for some people, so hopefully you recovered, you got some sleep, you're ready for the weekend. I appreciate you as always. Act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.